Hi, Booktube. I'm still sort of getting the hang of this, trying to keep track of all of the regular features here on Booktube. And one of the ones I just learned about is What Are You Reading Wednesday? I'm a couple days late to that, and so I guess we can make this a Friday reads. But I did have a couple of books I wanted to talk about, three that I'm in the process of reading. And then starting next week, I guess we'll make these like a regular video on Wednesdays. The first book here is Robert Warshow, The Immediate Experience, a pretty well-known volume among film critics. It's not just a book of film criticism. It's really more like the collected works of Warshow. He died pretty young, I think at about 37. He was a cultural critic, literary critic, but the essays of his that have been the most lasting are his ones on movies. He writes pretty well about Charlie Chaplin, about the Russian filmmakers of the 20s and 30s. His lasting kind of impact as a film critic was to encourage film critics to not view movies from up on a perch, basically. To encourage them to see themselves as part of the audience and to take the movie seriously as this new art form. And by doing so, by not looking down on movies, you make the movies more interesting. So yeah, I mean, like it's worth the hype. It's worth it warrants its reputation. It's one of those that you see talked about in the same conversation with Pauline Kael and Andrew Sarris, whose work I still have to get to. This next one is a biography. This is Richard Perez Seves, or Seves, John Willie, the story of John Alexander Scott Coutts. John Willie is his pseudonym, and he is I would say, legendary fetish artist and photographer, best known for the magazine Bizarre, which he published in the 40s and 50s, and also known for his comic Sweet Gwendolyn, which first appeared in the magazine. It's just a pretty standard, straightforward biography. It's very well researched. Draws on letters, newspaper articles. The most interesting source here is the interview that John Willie did with the Kinsey Institute, pretty close to the end of his life. And I'm really curious if that is available online somewhere, archived, because I would like to read the whole thing. But it's it has the facts. It gives you the story of the man's life and work. I just wish it was a little bit more. I mean, I wish it had more flair to it. I would think that John Willie, being heavily into S&M and leather and bondage and all this stuff, would have gotten a big thrill out of being able to publish this kind of material and have it and cultivate a fan base, and there would have been a dangerous kind of fun to it, and that's not really what comes across in this biography. It very is just a here's what he did in the order in which he did it, and I'm glad to have this. It's as far as I know the only full length biography of the man so far. It's probably going to be a while before we get another one, so I'm glad to have it. I just wish it read a little more exciting. And then the last one, I have an e-copy, so I just took a cover off the web. Let's see. The Minority Report by Philip K. Dick. It's actually the first thing I've read by Philip K. Dick. And if this is I'm hoping that this is not indicative of his signature style, and I would think not, because it's an early work by him, and it's basically a short story, whereas he's known, I would say, more for his novels, right? I mean, when you think of Philip K. Dick, you think of Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, A Scanner Darkly, The Man in the High Castle. Not so much his short stories, I feel like. And this being an early work written for a science fiction magazine in the mid '50s, that is really what it feels like. It feels like a writer who is being paid to write by the word, and never missing the opportunity to use an adjective or an adverb or multiple verbs. So not crazy about the writing style, but the main story here has a lot of pull. I mean, it's gripping right off the bat. And this did inspire me to go back and watch the Spielberg movie, which I had not seen in probably 15 years. Was not too crazy about it back then, and I liked it even less seeing it now. I don't think Spielberg was right for it. I would much rather have seen Ridley Scott on a good day. See his take on that, or even see James Cameron's Minority Report, but I mean, I'm guessing it's going to be 25 years before we see another adaptation of that story. So anyway, that's a Friday Reads video. I didn't get to that second box that I was talking about. I'm thinking of either saving those and saving those for tags, or waiting until I have those at least out on a shelf and do a proper bookshelf tour. But at the very least, we will commence What Are You Reading Wednesday and make that the regular feature on this channel. So thank you for watching, and I shall return